Show starts in 5 minutes.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. We've lined up the top stars from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on our giant screen with the new, colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading about. To add to your enjoyment, we're all wound up to bowl you over at intermission time with live wire service at our snack bar, where you'll find a tempting variety of favorite foods and beverages. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Hey, fellas, don't fight over that hot dog. There's plenty for everyone. Big, plump, and juicy, wrapped in an oven-fresh bun. Add mustard, relish, ketchup, and go to work. Yes, the hot dogs at our refreshment center are the best you'll find anywhere. Everybody agrees on that.
It's 4 minutes till showtime.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 3 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
It's 2 minutes till showtime.
Popcorn, candy, ooh, hot dog, popsicle. Oh boy, banana orange.
Show starts in 1 minute.
There are words men live by, words of strength, of wisdom, and of peace. We urge you to find the spiritual comfort and guidance we all so greatly need by attending your place of worship regularly.
Here's a new taste treat. The corn dog. Plump, juicy wieners are dipped in a thick, golden Southern-style corn batter that seals in all their freshness and flavor. If you like hot dogs, you'll love corn dogs. Everybody does. Try a corn dog with your favorite beverage. At the refreshment corner now. Corn dogs.
Broadcasting live from beautiful Union City, New Jersey. This is your movie quiz for Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Here we go. Hey, welcome to the movie quiz. I am your host, Chris Mann Nelson, and in just a couple minutes, you and I will be embarking together on a trivia odyssey through 34 questions of film trivia and puzzles. It's going to be a lot of fun. It is a completely interactive game. So we are in our 6th season Cinester 6 setup, where every game, 6 episodes, all with a theme. Tonight's theme is sequels. We're going to be talking all about sequels tonight. So hopefully you brushed up on your trilogies, quadrilogies, pentalogies, and so forth. So this is, like I said, a completely interactive game. If you want to join the game, all you got to do is head right here, play.themoviequiz. That was all right. Play.themoviequiz.com. Go there, enter your team name, enter your email address, hit join the game, and you will do just that. You will join the game. It's a completely free game to play. We'll talk a little bit later about donations, but for now, I would like to bring in our special guest that you will be playing against. These two will be in the leaderboard competing with you. If you stay tuned after the movie quiz every week, you know who they are. They've been here many times before. They are trivia gurus in their own right, and I'm very excited to have them back on the show. Meredith and Pedar are here. Welcome back to the movie quiz.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Oh, I'm thrilled. Always thrilled to have you back. And now usually you play head to head, but tonight you're combining forces. Yes.
We're playing as a team tonight, which I think is going to help my score a lot. It's all selfish here. I just want to do better.
No, that's totally legitimate. That's totally fine, because playing as a solo team is can be pretty tough. But I think do you guys like sequels generally, or are there any sequels that what's like your highest sequel? Highest pinnacle of sequel versus lowest. I mean, lowest is a pretty low bar to clear, I guess. But like most disappointing sequel, I'll say.
Meredith, you go first.
Well, the first thing that came to mind, like a great series of movies, the Toy Story movies. I think the third one maybe is where it peaks for me. So I don't know if we call a third installment sequel, but if it qualifies, that's probably my answer for a good one. And a bad one? I don't know. Pedar, any thoughts?
Oh, sure, tons. But I'm a fan of sequels. I mean, it's always that thing where, like, I think growing up where I think you're late millennial, Chris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm like right on the cusp. I'm 40,
yeah.
So I'm
right of
early
course.
80s.
So I'm going to be 36 this year, and I feel like we were the generation of like everything needs a sequel, or at least it happened during our lifetime where just everything was monetized, especially with Star Wars, so we got the toys and the sequels and all of that. And then starting, it's all, Disney's been remaking stuff forever, but that's a little bit different than this like Lego sequel that started happening around the 2010s.
First it was reboots, first it was remakes, then reboots, then the Legacy sequel.
Yeah.
For me, I'll say my most disappointing, like the most disappointed I felt, maybe just ever as a human, was like I was like, it was Batman and Robin. I was 15 when Batman and Robin came out, and because I was 7, 10, and 12 or 13 when the first 3 came out, I didn't see any flaws in any of those movies. I was like, these movies are perfect. And the 4th one has to be perfect as well. How could it be anything but? And then it came out, and I was just like, This can be a thing I was looking forward to can be bad. How can that be? Like, I guess I was too old for that kind of thought, but like, I was so disappointed, like in a profound way.
That is so. It's amazing. Like that broke Warner Brothers. Batman. They waited 8 years for a reboot, but it's like,
yeah,
if
but it worked.
It
set
did.
them actually in a weird way on the right track. So I'm putting the game into in-game mode here. We're gonna get this going. Here we go. And I'm just seeing in the chat, Ricky Scabs sends their regrets from stupid desk jobs. I'm sorry to miss you for this game, Ricky, but everybody else, thank you so much. And thank you for checking in, Ricky. That's very, very kind. All right. So before we get it actually started, let's go over some quick ground rules. 1, don't cheat. Don't Google, don't use IMDb, don't use your computer except for watching me and Meredith and Peter and for entering your answers. That should be it. 2, if you're watching on one of the streaming platforms, don't put the answers in the chat. Head to the aforementioned website. Let's see. Well, now my angle is different. It's way down there. I got to do the Brady Bunch angle thing. Way down there, play.themoviequiz.com. Sign up and play. Don't put answers in the chat. Number 3, spelling doesn't count unless I tell you it does. I don't think anything does tonight. 4, last names are fine if we're talking about an actor or a director. 5, you can change your answer and resubmit it before the timer runs out. And 6, most importantly, don't forget to hit submit. You got to hit submit, even for multiple choice. If you don't hit submit, I won't get your answer. It will not make it to me. You'll know that you've submitted it successfully because you'll see a little bit of text. Also, this is our Sinister 6 season, so every team gets a chance to double up their points 1 time per season. So I'm opening that up to everybody now. Tonight is about sequels. If you haven't doubled up, just type yes or no, or you could leave it blank if you've already used it. So just type, if you want to double up tonight, just type yes. And I think most teams have already used it already. We're only halfway through the 6. We're gonna see how it goes. All right, everybody's done that. Oh, one team did say yes. Very, very interesting. Well, let's see what happens. All right, so let's pop into our first round of the night, which is Bigger and Badder movie sequel villains. Movie sequel villains are all is what your first round is going to be about. It's all villains that joined later in the series. So no like Agent Smith or anything, or Darth Vader or anything like that. All right, so here we go. Round number 1, Bigger and Badder. Question number 1. 5 years after vanquishing Gozer, the Ghostbusters faced off against bloodthirsty spirit Vigo the Carpathian, whose soul was trapped in what? What was Vigo the Carpathian's soul trapped in?
I have to say, after you asking the question about a disappointing sequel, I was stewing on it, and I came to one. Sex and the City 2. Hot pile of garbage.
Oh man, I don't even know if I saw the first one, but I definitely didn't see the second one. I feel like, but I've heard the legend that
it's a hate crime.
It's so wrong. It's so incredibly wrong. All right, so here we go. In the sequel to Ghostbusters, the original sequel to Ghostbusters, Gozer ends up coming back in the new movie, and it's just a rehash of the third act is a weird rehash of the first one. But in this one, Vigo was trapped in a painting. He was trapped in a painting and needed a baby. He needed Dana Barrett's baby to get out. All right. Question number 2. This is a multiple choice question here. After going up against Lex Luthor and General Zod, Superman bafflingly battled a goofy antagonist played by what comedian in Christopher Reeve's third outing? Was that Steve Martin, Richard Pryor, George Carlin, or Bill Murray? Which one of those was the silly villain of Superman 3?
I do think I did not answer your question as well. I will say though that I do have some disappointing sequels, but I will say 2 of them that are not, in my opinion. I love The Last Jedi, and And the Matrix Resurrections, I also really enjoyed. And those are both like really divisive sequels. So
well, it's funny that you put them both together, Peter, because I have those two. I was watching Matrix 4 and I was like, I've had this feeling before. Why do I feel this way about this movie? And it was Last Jedi, which is all of it I love on paper. I love all of what both of those movies did on paper. But then for me, neither movie coalesced that like that. Those great ideas didn't translate into a fully enjoyable movie to me. I don't dislike either of them, but it's just like I conceptually, I love everything about like the ditching of the bloodlines in Star Wars. It was like enough already.
Yes,
and then they brought it back for the third one. It was a disaster. So this one, this Superman villain was Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was like a proto computer hacker in Superman 3, which is an insane film directed by Richard Lester, who directed the Beatles movies. And so he made the Superman movie like into like a silly Hard Day's Night style comedy. All right, question number 3. Though he's one of the most iconic movie sequel villains of all time, this character actually originated in a 1967 TV episode called Space Seed. Looking for the name of the character here. Though he's one of the most iconic movie sequel villains of all time, this character actually originated in a 1967 TV episode called Space Seed.
We're not sure about this one.
This is the critical thinking, Meredith. So you're like, I think it's your Montessori school upbringing. You really, you really can parse a problem and really get there. I think we're on the right track here.
You did Montessori. You did Montessori school, Meredith.
I did.
I did for pre-K and first grade. I did Montessori, and the learn at your own pace thing. I just did like every book like in the first half of the year, and then sat around for the second half of the year. All right, so this one, good amount of teams got this. What did you guys, because you were on the fence about this, what was your thinking? What did your Montessori get you?
So I think it's a Star Trek reference, and I think it's the Wrath of Khan was my guess there. And
you got it right. If you want to scream it at home, I'm not going to scream it here into this fuzzy microphone, but you could scream Khan Noonien Singh. One team actually did put Khan Noonien Singh's full name. So shout out to, I think it was Marley's Chains, got the full name there. Nicely done. All right. Question number 4, back to multiple choice. All of these members of Batman's Rogues Gallery. So this is sensitive material for me. Who appeared in the Dark Knight trilogy. So all of these Rogues Gallery members appeared in the Dark Knight trilogy. They also had previous incarnations in the Burton Schumacher sequels of the 90s, except for which one? So all of these were in Nolan's movies, but which one was not in either a Tim Burton or Joel Schumacher sequel from the 90s?
Glad to see we concur on this. I know Peter is a huge Batman fan.
Well, I did tell my parents I wanted to grow up to be a Batman poster, so that was...
You just wanted to be the poster?
I guess I had low and just small ambitions.
Just flat, just two-dimensional, standing against a wall.
You know that yellow American street sign that has like it's kind of like it means you're coming to a dead end, but you have 2 ways to go, and so you
like a T intersection,
yeah, a left intersection, right intersection. There was a graffitied version on a hometown street that they made that a Batman symbol.
Oh, nice!
And like the entire time I lived in Canton, no one ever changed it, and I just was like, let's go the Batman way. Yeah, it's really
You're good. Batman knows what he's doing, and he knows where he's going. So for this one, most teams got it right. Everybody else who got it wrong did fall into the trap of not realizing that there is a terrible version of Bane in the aforementioned Batman and Robin. There's just a drooling, like idiot Bane in that movie. It's offensive. It's offensive. All right, it's like it's Bane in that movie was my Sex in the City too, as a 15-year-old child. All right, here comes question number 5. Mike Myers played numerous bad guys in Austin Powers and its sequels, but what actor plays himself playing Goldmember in the brain-numbingly meta finale of the third movie? Is that Danny DeVito, Tom Cruise, John Travolta, or Bruce Willis? Which one of these guys? The movie ends with a movie within a movie, and it's cameo upon cameo, and it's exhausting. Which one is played himself playing Goldmember?
This is tough. It's been a while since I've seen the Austin
one. Yeah, that's why I put this one a little further down in the round.
My hunch is that these do not hold up.
No, the first movie is still. I maintain the first movie is still good, but I actually hated both sequels when they came out. That's up there too, actually, as far as like crushing disappointment, because I love the first movie. That movie came out the same year of Batman and Robin, so Austin Powers kept me afloat, kept me sane. And then the sequels came out, and I was just like, why? And when I was a kid, I loved Mike Myers. I loved Wayne's World so much. And then Austin Powers was great. And I still think the first one holds up, but the second two are just real diminishing returns and a steep decline. All right, so all of these guys, except for Bruce Willis, are in this movie as themselves. Bruce Willis has just done a bunch of cameos as himself, so I threw him in there. But Tom Cruise is not Goldmember. Tom Cruise plays Austin Powers in it. It's Travolta. Travolta is Goldmember at the end of the movie, playing himself, playing Goldmember. All right.
See, I knew he was in the beginning. He was in like the third movie starts with like Austin Powers has been made into a movie, and he's playing Austin Powers, right? Am I right? Or
yeah, there's like an adaptation. There's like it starts with an Austin Powers movie within a movie, and then ends with another one, and it's so tiring. The movie just wears me out. And then their brother is in it, and it's like, what is happening? All right. Question number 6, keeping with Tom Cruise here. The first 4 Mission Impossible movies each had disparate villains, but Rogue Nation and Fallout both pitted Ethan Hunt against this nefarious group of ex-agents. So I'm looking for the name of the group of ex-agents. I'm just catching up on some of the chat here. I forgot to open the chat tab. Caitlin saying everyone should YouTube the opening of the third Superman. I can't remember how it opens. Caitlin, please remind me. I know it's very, very strange. Ryan saying they caught the first 15 minutes of Matrix 2 and it was laughably bad. Matrix 2, I have a feeling Matrix 4 will like do what the other 2 sequels did for me, which is like worm their way into my heart and brain, because they're not good, but I still just like think about them and watch them.
There's so much to appreciate about them.
There's a lot there. Well, they're one movie. They were supposed to be one movie, and they would have been one good movie. So having a fourth kind of works to make a real trilogy. So this one was tough. This was a hard one. And most teams did not get it right. This was hard. They are the Syndicate. The Syndicate is the answer. Only 21% on that one. That one's hard. That was a hard one. All right. And your final, no, not your final. I've got 2 more here. Sorry. Here we go. This one. Ooh, here we go. Fancy embedded pictures here. And I'm also going to put them here. Peter helped me with the coding to embed pictures, but he did not see any of the questions. In 1989 and 1991, English actor Joss Ackland, pictured here, was both an action and a comedic big bad in what pair of sequels? The RoboCop 3 and Beverly Hills Cop 2, License to Kill and Police Academy 5, Lethal Weapon 2 and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, or Under Siege 2 and Naked Gun 2.5?
Syndicate.
It's a great bad guy in both of these.
Man, Are you a fan of the Mission Impossible movies?
I am. I love the Mission Impossible movies. Rare series that just gets better with each installment. Although Rogue Nation I might like better than Fallout, but that's close.
Man, I love them all, and I think they're great. And I'm devastated that like we have to wait another year.
I know
that delay. I'm sick of it.
Caitlin's giving some insight into Superman 3's opening. It's like a Rube Goldberg of goofy accidents. Like Final Destination was trying to be funny, but it's Superman. Superman 3 is nuts. Superman 3 is absolutely insane. There's like,
is this like the opening of Temple of Doom?
With the musical number and
number, and then it goes to like the yellow raft, and he uses it to slide down the mountain and all of that.
I love I have to say, I love the raft. I genuinely loved using a raft as a parachute and then getting in the water. But also Dan Aykroyd's in that opening for no good reason. If you Dan Aykroyd just kind of shows up and puts him on that plane. So this guy, English Joss Ackland here, was in both. He went up against Riggs and Murtaugh and Bill and Ted. He is hopefully I think maybe people saw my clue today on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, I give you one clue per round. I don't tell you what round. They're not in order. You got to kind of suss it out. But Joss Ackland was 2 good villains within a couple of years. And now it's time for your final question. Terminator 2's shape-shifting T-1000 is undeniably awesome, but he's hardly creative, just recycling the time-traveling murder plan from the first movie. In fact, this is the only Terminator sequel out of 6 movies, or 5 sequels, the only Terminator sequel that's not about a villainous robot trying to alter the past. Is it Rise of the Machines, Salvation, Genesis, or Dark Fate? Which is the only one that's not just recycling the exact same plot of 1984's Terminator 1. And the answer to this one, I actually just rewatched today because writing this question made me realize I haven't seen this in a while. And it's not great, but it does this.
It does some things.
Something different. It's so like it's like the same shit over and over every Terminator movie. It works one time.
If I'm correct, I did like Dark Fate, but it's not about that. But the marketing for this movie was great until they spoiled Sam Worthington's character.
A major, This movie this is from 2009. This is where where the screaming, the viral Christian Bale screaming clip comes from. It's from the set of Terminator Salvation. Yeah, it actually just takes place in the future war finally, which is just like Terminator 2. It's okay. It's like, all right, Terminator 2 gets away with it because Terminator 2 rules on every level, and it's just a great movie. Also rewatched that the other day, and it holds up, thankfully.
It's just James Cameron. Honestly, like, I know in the late 90s there was a lot of Titanic hate, but that movie is so freaking good. All of his movies are He's
great. He's great. I'm not a big fan of Avatar or Titanic, but I can appreciate how well made they are. But okay, that's it for round 1. So, and also I put this up, but I just want to say, Rosemary said they didn't know that there were so many Terminator sequels. There's a ton, and they all just try to do the same thing except for Salvation. And it's okay, honestly. It's really it's an all right movie. All right, let's check out your scores and standings after one round. We've got, with 6s apiece, Marley's Chains, the producers, and the Turds, and with 7 points apiece, no perfects that round. We got Sterling Cooper, Winter Herzog, and How Am I Going to Be an Optimist About This, which is Meredith and Peter working together, currently in first place. Nicely done. All right, so let's move on to your second round of the night. It's going to be your picture round, and it's piggybacking off that Terminator question here. It's called I've Seen This Before, and it's all about sequels that are just carbon copies of the original. Movies that just kind of copied and pasted the first movie and tried to do it again. But I'm going to show you a clip from the movie, and we're going to do a rare half points here. I don't usually do a lot of half points, But the first answer field, you're going to name the movie or the franchise. If it is a sequel and they change the name slightly, make sure that you put the right like if I'm showing you Three Men and a Little Lady, which I won't be, don't write Three Men and a Baby. And then
would have known that one.
I should have maybe next time. And for the second field, determine if it's the original or the sequel. So your first answer will be either the franchise or the movie, and the second field will be original or sequel.
Order
Peter,
matters.
you have a question.
Yeah. Is it ordered or unordered?
It's ordered. It's ordered. Yes. Okay. Order counts. So the first field is the movie or the franchise. The second field is just the word original or sequel. Just either write original or sequel. All right, here we go. Movie number 1. And these are also embedded. You should be able to see these. So determine All right. I'm very interested to see how this shakes out, because I tried to choose images that were close, that, you know. So
this is tough. This is good.
So this is Die Hard, of course. That's John McClane crawling around in an air duct, but he's crawling around in an air duct, not in an undershirt, which means this is Die Hard 2. This is a sequel. This is Die Hard 2. Okay, Die Harder. All right, yeah, and yeah, make sure you put, just a reminder, make sure you put the movie or the franchise in the top field and original or sequel in the second field. All right, here we go. Movie number 2. Original or sequel?
I love this movie. That's a good movie franchise.
We just had a question about this in one of our in-person quizzes yesterday.
Really? About
it was
about which movie this is, or about this specific movie?
In the background, the name of the store. We asked teams to name the name of the store.
Oh, I know it. Is it Duncan's Toy Chest?
It is. Yeah. It is. I think everybody got this right. Yeah, Duncan's Toy Chest got both halves of this right. Everybody can see that there's Duncan's Toy Chest back there, and he's carrying around a map of New York because he's lost in New York. This is a sequel. This is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, and it is a sequel. All right, here comes number 3. I like the embedded photo.
Yeah, it's nice. It gives people the option, so they don't have to always look at the feed, which is nice, I think. But and then if the feed drops out, they can still play, and vice versa.
Yeah,
it's like having 2 traffic lights at the intersection. Double, what's that called?
Yeah,
double.
Exactly. It's a fail-safe. It's a fail-safe,
yeah.
because someone told me last week that their computer glitched out and they couldn't see one of the questions, and they would have gotten it right. And I was like, all right, I'll work to, but it is just know, everybody, it's a lot more work. It's a lot. It's a lot of extra work. It's a real pain in the ass. All right. So this one, this franchise has a real bad habit of just making giant planet destroying weapons. And this is from The Force Awakens. It's a sequel. This is Star Killer Base. This is not the Death Star.
I will tell you, when this movie first came out, I loved it. Every subsequent viewing, I am more and more going, ooh, it's too much. It's too much. And then Han Solo has the audacity to call out the fact, like, this meta commentary, like, oh, there's got to be a hole we can blow it up with. They always
I know. I'm
like,
also like,
it doesn't make it better.
I think that's kind of my thing with Matrix Resurrections and Last Jedi 2, is like, I'm kind of tired of meta commentary. It's like, just please make a movie, even if it's just a sequel and it's a retread, just like make it without commenting on how sequels are tiring and exhausting and Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. We know all this. We know this. Just make a movie, please. All right, here comes your next one. So far, teams are doing pretty well on this one. All right, so this one is this is the seller Deadite from the original Evil Dead. This is from Evil Dead 1. It's from Evil Dead 1, which is hopefully you've gleaned from this and you're thinking about these movies halfway through here. These are all movies that the sequel Evil Dead 2 kind of branched out a little bit. But yes, Evil Dead, all of these I like, honestly. And I'm not judging any of the carbon copies. I love Die Hard 2. I like Home Alone 2. And I like Force Awakens, but I also agree with Peter that that it kind of, each watch of the Force Awakens kind of tapers off.
So many windows open. Got too many windows.
We got some critical thinking going on for this one. Though I know all three of these.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta think these out. You gotta think, okay, well, all these movies are like exactly the same as their predecessor, but what's making this one different? This one has so far had the biggest split of people typing original versus sequel, because these are probably the most similar of any of these movies. They just basically did the same thing. It is The Hangover, but as someone pointed out in their answer, Doug has a sunburn, and also Alan has his hair. He shaved he has a shaved head. Zach Galifianakis has a shaved head in the second one. So this is Hangover 1.
Chris, thank you for giving me Origina.
Really that was you, Peter. I didn't see. I'm not seeing who's the way I have it said. I'm not seeing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see Origina. Yeah, if you want to type Origina, that's I know that's officially now an acceptable.
Origina colon. So semicolon.
All right, here we go. Movie number 6.
Thank you.
Are you thanking me, Peter, for this one?
Yes, I
love this series.
I wouldn't have if it wasn't for your hint. I did some research, and I appreciate it.
I've never seen these.
These are the first one is good. The second one, hang on, let me just regrade a couple of these.
It's one of these situations where, like, the original, they knew their capabilities and what they could do, like visual effects wise. But then, like, when you get into the mid 90s, they're throwing all this shit at the wall. And it's like
crazy. It's honestly crazy, and it's the exact same movie. This movie. So this is Escape from New York. Is the series. So I would take that if you wrote that, but hopefully the waves, the wall of water behind Snake Plissken should tell you that he's in LA in this one. This is Escape from LA. It's the sequel, which I have like a soft spot for. It's not good, but I love the first one, and I just love Kurt Russell. I like, and him, like, Kurt Russell being a badass is just fun. So even though the movie's pretty shitty, he just carries it, even in this really abysmal surfing scene. All right, more water here. More water rushing behind someone. We're in the water rushing behind a man suite of tonight's sequel quiz.
These movies, Peter introduced me to a few years ago. I had completely missed them, and I really enjoyed them. The second one, I think, was not quite as good, but the first one, really, really excellent. So much fun.
It's riveting. They're riveting movies.
The second one is like it was too similar for me. It was too much of this category for me to fully get on board for it. But this one is from the original Fugitive. This is Tommy Lee Jones earning his Oscar in this wet tube. And then he came back for U.S. Marshals, which is like just the same thing with Wesley Snipes. And also Downey is there.
But him in a chicken suit. You get to see Tommy Lee Jones in white spandex. Yeah, chicken suit's the second one, I think.
Is U.S. Marshals?
Yeah.
The chicken suit. Okay. U.S. Marshals just got bumped up in my book because of the Tommy Lee Jones in yellow tights. This is your final picture of this round.
I have questions. Like, did the franchise restart?
No, it's in canon.
It is.
Everything is in canon because we have characters that are coming back or that are back.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really make full sense that it would be.
Although I will say this was a disappointment. Sorry, go ahead.
Almost everybody got this one right. It's obviously the Jurassic series. There's not a lot of series with photorealistic dinosaurs screaming out into the horizon. But this one, everyone saw. That's a functioning or a formerly functioning theme park in front of them. This is Jurassic World. This is the sequel. And I just found out, supposedly, because it's the same island, according to Colin Trevorrow, the director, this is the same dinosaur from the first movie.
Yep.
I just found that out after how old this movie is, 7 years ago. That
isn't that terrible?
That's a weird choice.
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's a needless choice. You go, okay, we're gonna have this iconic moment when dinosaurs once ruled the earth. Mm-hmm. They save the humans, they eat the velociraptors, and then we're supposed to believe that this.
She just walked around for 20 years, just hanging out. This is a geriatric dinosaur. This is a very elderly dinosaur in this scene. All right, so before we head to our check our leaderboard, let's do our lightning round. Let's do the lightning round. So the lightning round is a 4-part question. Each one is worth a single point apiece. You don't have to get them all right, but this one's going to work a little differently than how we normally do a lightning round, because I'm going to give you all 4 answers for this one, and you're going to have to put them in order. So order absolutely counts for this one. You're going to see all 4 answers, but you're going to have to sort them. So this round is your lightning round tonight is all about belated sequels, movies that had big gaps since their predecessors. And here we go. All of these belated sequels have had at least a 10-year gap between them and their predecessor. Sorry, that should say and their predecessor. Put them in order from the shortest gap to the largest gap. So the one that was only the shortest amount of time between sequels will go in spot number 1. The next amount of time between sequels to next highest amount, all the way up to the highest amount of time between sequels, goes in the final field. Your 4 movies are The Odd Couple 2, which does exist, believe it or not, Mary Poppins Returns, Blade Runner 2049, and Clerks 2. Those are your 4 movies. Put them in order of how long their gap was in between sequels. And
you're giving us extra time, right? Oh, okay, 30 seconds. Okay, jeez.
Yeah, 30 seconds for this one, starting now.
Mm-hmm. You're into that, Meredith? What you said for 3 and 4? Okay.
Yeah.
And then, okay. And so you're just on the, okay. Okay. I got to put in something here.
About the Odd Couple, is this the Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon Odd Couple?
Yeah, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon came back together for.
It was probably me.
They came back. Was that Dante commenting on the I guess it was, I don't know who was asking for an Odd Couple sequel, which was let's look at the breakdown here. All right, so this was tough. This was harder. Clerks 2, about half of teams. That was only 12 years between Clerks and Clerks 2. Odd Couple 2 was 30 years. It was 1968 to 1998.
Knew it.
Blade Runner 2049 was 35 years from 1982 to 2017. And Mary Poppins Returns was 54 years. It was 54 years in between those sequels. And also, I didn't do it last week, but I promised you I'd do it this week. You've been replicanted. I gave you a Blade Runner you. You got replicanted. Is Deckard a replicant? We don't know. Who'll ever know? Who cares? It doesn't matter. All right, let's look at your scores and standings here after the lightning round. Probably one of the tougher lightning rounds that we've had in this game. All right, so we've got a lot of 14.5s. But let's jump ahead to third place, which is Winter Herzog has 16.5 points. In second place, just ahead of them, is Marley's Chains, and in first place with 18 points. They put those in order correctly. It's Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Betts. So that was a tough one. That was a tough one, and also because not my favorite kind of question to write, because if you get one wrong, you're going to get another one wrong. But I thought it'd be interesting. All right. So if it wasn't interesting, please let me know. I know that you will.
It was interesting, but we were terrible at it.
Meredith, thank you for backing me up. All right, so that brings us to our puzzle round. The puzzle round's also going to be a little different than usual tonight. So your puzzle round, it's going to be another visual round. It's a visual puzzle round, which is always fun. It's double trilogists by visual clues. So a little bit of personal glossary here. A double trilogist is a term that I use for people who have played the two different characters 3 or more times each. Okay, so they're not necessarily all just a trilogy and a trilogy. But you have to have been in 2 different movies. Like Stallone, for example. Stallone has played Rocky 7 times, 8 times, and Rambo 5 times. So he's a double trilogist, even though he's done way more than a trilogy. So you're going to figure out the actor from visual hints that will lead you to the roles that they've played. Yes, they've played 3+ times. I was I just came from the dentist when I wrote this. I don't know why I wrote plate. I don't know if that was an autocorrect, but played is, yes, plates. They've roles that they've played 3+ times. So we're gonna do an example here. We're gonna do an example question. All right. So you've got a bunch of options here. You've got a whole bunch of options. Figure out the actor from visual hints to 2 roles that they've played. That time I wrote it right 3+ times. Beware of fake outs in the multiple choice options. Here's an example for 0 points. Okay. So you've got 2 images here. This is for 0 points. So I'll walk you through it. A solo cup and also the state of Indiana. So what actor who's played, who's a double trilogist, his roles could be obtained by an image of a solo cup and the state of Indiana. And he's on this list.
I love these visual wordplay rounds. I think they're so fun.
Thank you, Meredith. Yeah, this is this was fun to do. It takes a lot of explanation, which is the only downside of it.
Yep.
All right, so this was worth 0 points. This was the gimme. So it's Han Solo, Indiana Jones. Of course, your answer is Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. So all of these will be and this list here is going to shrink as with every question as the correct answers will disappear to start to narrow it down. All right, so here we go. Here is your actual first one. So this person is on this list. And this is why I embedded images today, because I wanted you to be able to like look at the list and the image easily. All right, everyone's doing great so far. Good. All right, perfect. Everyone, 13 teams, 13 answers in, 13 correct answers. You know that's Axel and Donkey. That's Eddie Murphy. That is Eddie Murphy's filmography right there. That's all of it. That's all he's done is Axel Foley from Beverly Hills Cop and Donkey from the movie Donkey. All right, here comes your next one.
I get it.
You see it?
Yeah. A little abstract there into it.
Some of them might get abstract.
What does that bee say?
What does he say? That's Santa Claus. That's for those of you unfamiliar, that's cultural icon Santa Claus. And that's a bee speaking. And what does a bee say? Bees say buzz, as in Buzz Lightyear. Santa and Buzz Lightyear, both of which Tim Allen has played 3 or more times. And a point of clarification, when I say we're talking about trilogists here, they're only or feature films, no spin-offs. You have to play. Everyone on this, there's no fake outs in the list. Everyone here has been in multiple series 3 times or more. There's no fake outs in the list. The only thing that's fake about them is they might not be one of the answers. Okay, so here we go. Here's your third one. There's something blurred out in that first image. So, and that'll happen a couple times in this round. When you see a blurred word, that's what I'm looking for. That's your clue.
I want to know what the flower represents.
You will find out. You'll find out shortly.
I can't wait. Tell me now.
Just sit back from the edge of your seat, Meredith, because the answers are coming. So the first half of that is Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique, and the other side is a Katniss plant. That is a plant called Katniss, making your answer Jennifer Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence is your answer. Very good. Everyone's crushing it so far. All right, here's your next one. You'll see the list is getting shorter as we go. Oh, Dante saw that picture.
He did. Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm still just thinking about that sequels. The lightning round.
You're feeling really rough, distraught really about it. Really,
oh yeah.
Really,
is that one tearing you up? Were you on the fence? Did you like?
No, it was really quick. It's hard to text with the setup we got going on. I thought Mary Poppins and Blade Runner were kind of a bit later. But we just went with we did what we did. We had to. It was one of those situations where I got to put something in here. I can't.
You gotta go for it. All right, so this one is calling back to Mission Impossible. Actually, we're talking that is Benji. That's Benji the dog on the left-hand side, as in Benji Dunn, the character, and that's Scott Tissue, as in Montgomery Scotty from Star Trek. More Star Trek action tonight too. That's Simon Pegg. Pegg has played Scotty 3 times and Benji, I think, 4. All right, nicely done. 71% of teams got that one right. Here comes your next double trilogist. I see slower answers coming in more slowly for this one. That's to be expected, but people are doing well. All right, nicely done. Big percentages here as well. Most people who submitted got it right. That on the left is Connie Francis. On the other side, that's Adrian Grenier. Connie, as in Connie Corleone, and Adrian, as in Adrian Panino Balboa, is Talia Shire. Talia Shire has been, I think, combined 8 appearances as those 2 characters. All right, here comes your next double trilogist. People doing pretty well on this one too. Pretty good percentages. Ryan saying he could not confirm she was in Godfather 2 because he refuses to watch it. It's actually her biggest, Talia Shire's biggest Godfather role. She's like pretty integral to the whole thing. All right, so this one on the right-hand side, I maybe even should have blurred it out a little more than I did. That's the logo of Xavier University. On the left, that's Jean-Luc Godard, as in Jean-Luc Picard, and Charles Xavier. This is Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart is your answer for this one. Question number 7. Change it on here as well. Godfather 3 is pretty bad. There apparently was Coppola re-released it as like something called the Godfather Coda recently, where he it's not, they restructured it and tinkered with it. It's supposed to be marginally better, but still not great. All right, so this one was maybe a little tougher. Still very good percentages on this one. On the left side, you got Back in Black. You're trying to bring your attention to the word black. And on the other side, you got Gordon Ramsay, as in Sirius Black and Commissioner Gordon. Sirius Black and Commissioner Gordon. Gary Oldman is your answer. And here comes your final question of the round. The first image is weird. It's
terrifying.
Yeah, I'll get into what's going on over there in a second.
I'm annoyed that we missed Gary Oldman.
You didn't get Oldman?
No, I figured it out, but it was like a beat too late. Just yep, we didn't get there. We need to be in the same room, Peter, next time.
You can, I mean, you absolutely can. You can share a camera. All right, this one probably had our biggest split. Still, most people got it right. But if you look on I'll start with the right-hand side first, because that's Julius Caesar. And then the other side is a silent film, a German silent film from 1915. I used to see this in Best Buy all the time. And because when back in the heyday of DVD, they used to just pump out, there'd be companies that would just like pump out, public domain movies with like terrible prints and convert them. This is a movie called Gollum. Which is like the Jewish folklore figure Gollum. He's like made of clay, comes to life. This dude looks like Buddy Hackett with like a weird clay wig on though. But it is scary. It's scary looking. So Gollum and Caesar from this Planet of the Apes. And quick bonus trivia. Everybody try to name the double trilogies for John Cho, Vin Diesel, Tom Hanks, and Zoe Saldana. You can throw them in the chat. Meredith and Peter, you can throw them in the chat too while I read off your scores. Cho, Diesel, Hanks, Saldana, what are their double trilogies? Let's take a look at your scores and standings here. After 3 rounds, we've got let me stretch this thing out here. We've got with 22.5. We got a lot of 22.5. So we got Not You, Guillermo, the Turds. I Be Doing Trivia just ahead of them in third with 23.5. We've got Winter Herzog in second with 25. Marley's Chains, and in first with 26. Very, very close game. We've got Sterling Cooper. So before we head into our final round of the night and our final bonus question, this is, of course, a very special time in any episode of the Movie Quiz. It is a free game to play. We do rely on your donations, but to help me make my case, I like to bring in big-time Hollywood figures, characters from your favorite movies and sequels, or people who want to pitch their own sequels, like my guest tonight, Mr. Luther Love. Luther Love is here.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.
Hi, Luther. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me. This is the perfect episode to have me on. I have a sequel I would like to pitch to the greatest movie never sequeled, which is The Passion of the Christ, as we all know.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty open-ended story after that.
I think it really leaves the audience hanging. And I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think we all want to know what happens to this figure, Jesus Christ.
This movie made hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're
exactly.
leaving it all on the table by not following up on the further adventures.
Yes, and I think there's a tremendous opportunity to reinforce the message of the original film, which was Christ suffering for our sins.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna keep it. How religious is your sequel?
Extremely religious, although it is also highly interpretive, because I am venturing into territory that is not heavily explored in the original source material.
You're kind of writing your own testament. Is that your own testament? Is that kind of the vibe, Luther?
I would hate to be presumptuous, but yes. The title of the film is Jesus Goes to Hell, The Final Passion. It picks up, yes, it picks up right where the original left off, and it chronicles Christ's 3 days in hell. And if you thought he took a beating in the first movie, get ready, because it's 4 straight hours of torture.
Is there a lot of I know that in a lot of sequels, they try to up the action quotient. Is there a lot of action in Passion 2?
Yes. But, well, in a way, all the action is happening to Jesus, who doesn't move very much at all, except to writhe and scream.
Stationary. He's just kind of there taking it.
Yes. He's the recipient of the action.
What I know normally you can't really tell this in a screenplay per se, which is what you got, but what's the runtime looking like for your vision?
So I'm thinking 4 hours, but it should be a quick 4. There's much less Aramaic dialogue,
Yeah.
It's really all projectile bleeding. There's
3D?
the traditional.
We're talking 3D for this one?
I am open to 3D. I was thinking IMAX as well.
Yeah, 3D. You got to shoot with real IMAX cameras though, Luther. So that's going to add, that's going to add to your budget.
Yes, which is why I'm hoping we can split the eventual proceeds of this conversation.
Yeah. So
I'm
so
GoFunding
if you want to help keep the movie quiz going and also fund Luther Loves Jesus's 3 Days in Hell, Passion of the Christ sequel.
Jesus Goes to Hell, the Final Passion.
The final, but the final, you're gonna just not leave it open for a third installment, not cap off the trilogy. I'm
following the naming convention of the Jason films.
Friday the 13th. That's true.
And
they did the final. They've had a couple of finals.
Yeah, that was not the end, was it? So I like the tease. But yeah, it's going to be, traditional fire and brimstone, lots of blood, tearing and rending of flesh, gnashing of teeth, a lot of stuff with the ass.
And a musical number in it, perhaps, though? Something to kind of break it up?
I hadn't thought of it. I don't want to license anything, but as long as it's...
you get original. You get Lin-Manuel or somebody to, just crank out some new original.
Well, who would be a damned figure that's period appropriate that could play live music during the torture?
There's gotta be somebody. All right. So I'm going to, donate if you can for mostly the movie quiz. I'll give a portion of it to the Final Passion. There's tipping widgets down below the leaderboard. And also another great way to support the show is just letting people know. Let's get those numbers higher for teams playing and have fun. It's a fun place to come talk about movies and play along. So Luther, you're going to stick around for round 4?
Yes.
All right. Terrific. Thank you. Bless. All right. So I'm bringing back Meredith and Pedar. Also, speaking of Meredith and Pedar, if you are here on the Twitch stream for their show, it will be starting shortly in just about 15 minutes. You can head over to quiz.nyctrivialeague.com, sign up, and also I encourage everybody here for TMQ to head on over there and play as well. I play whenever I can. It's a lot of fun. They generate a lot of content per week. It's staggering and it's all really good. So play along with them. All right, so let's jump into our final round of tonight's game. It's your double points round, and it's pretty straightforward. It's franchise by subtitle. Franchise by subtitle is your final round. So for 1 point each, and these are in order as well. These are ordered. Got to put 1 and then 2 in the first box. Put the franchise. I'm going to read you the subtitle of a sequel. So like Porky's 2: The Revenge, for example. I don't know why that came to my mind, but if I just said The Revenge, which is also Jaws 4, but you could put the...
Now I know they're both not on there. Jesus.
Neither are on there, that they both were right on the tip of my tongue for some reason. Speaks volumes about me. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to somebody. So for the first one, put the franchise. The second one, put what number installment it was. Okay. So if I put Cruise Control, you would put Speed 2, right? Okay. That makes sense. It should be straightforward. All right, here we go. They do have to be in order though. Franchise first, installment number second. Your second box should just be a number. Here comes number 1. Last Blood 2019. Last Blood 2019. Luther, you this one's got blood in the title. You probably like this. I can't hear him.
Are we doing these one at a time, or they're not supposed to be both up at the same time? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Wait,
I just see one box.
Oh, did it only show 1? All right, then I will give it. Oh, weird. Oh, that's a. Why did that happen? All right, I'm just gonna give everybody. Everybody will get a freebie on this one. I must have missed something.
But what if you got it right?
This was
you still get that point.
This was Rambo 5. This was Rambo 5. If you
no, 3 points, great.
Rambo 5. Okay, so here we go. Here's your. I don't know why this is coming out like this. All right, so it's I'll adjust the scores after. I'll just give Battle of the Smithsonian is your second one. It should be coming out as 2 fields, and I checked these.
Interesting.
I'll adjust all these scores to I'll figure out a way to fix this.
How often do you say that a day?
Luther, I love your movie idea. I hope you get it made.
It's been far too long since we've seen Jim Caviezel torn to pieces.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got that momentum with him in that meme. So I think right now the time is ripe.
Yeah, you got to strike while the iron is hot. So it's, I mean, and
or
strike while the
nail is sharp.
Strike with the hot iron too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, this one, Battle of the Smithsonian, is Night at the Museum. It is Night at the Museum. That is your answer. Here's what I'll do for this. If everybody who puts type what you think, if it's only showing up as 1, see if it shows up as 2, do what I said. If it shows up as 1, type Night at the Museum 2, and then I will adjust the points afterward to give the point to the extra point. You'll get 1 point. I don't know what. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. All right. All right.
You're doing great.
Here comes your next one. I don't know why I checked this. This was like, I don't know. Whatever. Type the number in the single field. It should have come out right. Don't know why. This is what I get for trying something.
No, it looks good. It's interesting because like on my screen, when I type in, it has like 2 little blue check marks that say 2. So I think
and it showed. I don't know if it's because it's numbers that it threw
it's
off.
I wonder if the column where it's like player answer count stayed as 1.
But I have it as, I don't change that week to week. I have that as a standard template that I have, and then even when I loaded the game. So if you put Pirates of the Caribbean, and how's it showing up? Are you guys getting 1 point or 2 when you get it right?
I don't release this, and then I'll be able to tell you.
Okay, yeah. Tell me if you're getting 1 point or 2, because then I can adjust the scores.
This is great. We're really seeing behind the curtain here.
Yeah, you're seeing this.
I just see 1 check. I can't tell if I'm getting 1 or 2. I think just 1.
Okay, well that's good, because then I can give the points. I can give an extra point. 1 point I'm seeing. Wait, Ryan's saying 2. All right, this is bad. This is bad news. All right, I'll figure it out. I was so excited for this round too.
Oh, there are 2 for this one.
There are 2 for this one. Yay!
Oh, there are. Thank God. All right, so maybe it's just the first 3. Maybe I just didn't check closely enough.
Good job, Peter.
Thank you for doing this quiz, Chris. It's really, I love the movies, and it's great to play, and it's great.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. I like I said, I always enjoy playing you guys' quiz too. All right, most teams got this right. I feel like a weight off my shoulders now that this one at least worked right. I don't know what I missed here, but this is
suffering.
This is my, I mean, if you need punch-ups, Luther, I can, for this, I know suffering now. This is, I can tap into this moment.
I've always thought of you as Christ-like.
So this, I have, my hair is not right, but the beard I've got. All right. So it's the Hobbit, and it's the Hobbit 3. All right, now we're back to 1. Now we're back to 1 answer on this one. All right, just type in this Back to the Miners, appropriately. Back to the Miners.
I think maybe The Hobbit was the sequel that it's a prequel, right? But
yeah, it stinks so bad though.
Now that's suffering.
That weightless slow motion of Orlando Bloom
climbing
the bridge is like, and I'm like, this is. Look, I understand. Like, it was terrible. It was a terrible situation behind the scenes. They had to scrap all of Guillermo del Toro's work. They only had 10 months of pre-production, but it's still like.
But it's just like
exhausting.
nobody wanted to make this movie, and it shows. Nobody wanted to make these movies, and then they stretched them out into 3. All right, so
like
this
butter
one,
scraped over too much bread.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there he is, Luther. That's a good one. So this one also should never have been 3 movies. It should have been a one and done. It's Major League. It's Major League 3. Major League 3 is your answer. So yeah, you'll get full points if you just typed Major League, and then I will adjust it after the fact. So our final standings might be a little warped tonight on the night. All right. Question number 6, Armed and Fabulous. Armed and Fabulous. Remember to type the movie and the sequel number, because I messed something up.
Never saw this one, but I've probably seen the first one 5, 6 times.
For this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a family favorite.
I've seen it once. I don't think I ever saw the sequel. And I don't think it was very good at all. All right. So here we go. This was Miss Congeniality. This was Miss Congeniality. It's weird. It's even showing the numbers as 2. I don't know.
It is weird because on the player app you can see teams by number correct, and it has the 2 green sliders that give percentage.
Yeah, it's so weird. I can't figure out what's going on there. All right. So here's question number 7, your penultimate regular question of the game. Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason Takes Manhattan. Remember to type. You know what to do by now. Type the movie series. Type the number as well.
Peter's got a really good guess.
Oh no.
This is the prequel to the Muppets movie starring Jason Segel.
Jason the Frog.
Then he goes back in time.
Yes.
Starts the entire thing. All right. So this one was a lot of teams knew it was Friday the 13th, which we just were talking about, Luther, with their unconventional naming and calling things the final whatever. The final chapter was 4. The New Beginning was 5. Jason Took Manhattan in part 8. Jason Takes Manhattan was number 8 of these.
So he went to Manhattan after hell, and that was an escalation.
Yeah. Well, in the 80s. In the 80s it was. And your final question of the round, Season of the Witch, 1982. I'm sneaking 1982 movies back in here.
I have way too many windows open.
All right, so this one, I had actually, let me just regrade some of these, make them correct. Peter, I actually was mentioning this in the chat of your game a couple of days ago. It might have been this week even, about how John Carpenter tried to end Michael Myers after 2 movies and turn Halloween into an anthology series. And this was Halloween 3. Halloween 3 was the movie where they tried to spin it off into like a different thing. Yeah, that's right, Luther. The silver shamrock masks that are going to explode with like.
How does that song go again? That's the music that should be playing in hell.
Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days till Halloween. Silver shamrock.
Hey,
all right,
he's ahead of his time.
So we've got. I mean, I don't even know if I should read off the scores because they're all warped at this point. They don't really reflect how it's going to bear out. But in third at the moment, with 39, we got Marley's Chains. Winner Herzog with 39.5, and leading the way with 42 is Sterling Cooper. This will change. I'll post full scores tomorrow along with the updated corrected scores along with your standings. All right. So your final question, bonus question of the night, post credits bonus. I'll show you a question that has 2 correct answers, but I'm going to put up a third fake out answer. Each correct one is worth 3 points. So if you get them both right, hit submit, get 6 points. But if you pick the decoy answer, you will get 0 points. The other question that you got right will be voided. So if you want to just play it safe, pick one, hit submit, bank your 3 points. All right. So we talked tonight about belated sequels. We talked about double trilogists, and that's where your intersection is. Your final question of the game. Thanks to belated threequels, a 12-year gap and a 19-year gap since their predecessors, these 2 actors, it should say a 12-year gap and a 29-year gap. A 12-year gap and a 29-year gap since their predecessors. These 2 actors became triple trilogists in 2017 and 2020, respectively. And your options are Keanu, Samuel L. Jackson, and Ice Cube. So thanks to belated sequels, a 12-year gap and a 29-year gap, these 2 actors became triple trilogists. They've played the same character 3 or more times in 3 separate series. All right, pick them. Took them time to get there. All right. So the one that most people got is Keanu, because he was in 2 Bill and Ted's, which we talked about before. Then he was in the ensuing years was in The Matrix and John Wick, and then came back for Bill and Ted 3, but also gaining triple trilogist status with Star Wars and the Marvel movies, and then Triple X 3. He came back he's done 3 Triple X movies. Samuel L. Jackson is your answer. Ice Cube was in 2 Triple X movies, and he's a double trilogist for Friday and Barbershop. And he's got like Ride Along 2 and a bunch of part 2s, but he's not done 3 3s. Ice Cube. All right. So that is your answer. Let's check out your scores and standings. At the end of the game, we'll see. This is probably going to change. This is probably going to change here. We've got with 39 points, Marley's Chains with 39.5. Winner Herzog. And your winners as of now is Sterling Cooper, Roland Deli Bets. They're your winners. So thank you so much. Thank you to Peter and Meredith. Stick around for their game. Go to quiz.nyctrivialeague.com. Now they're going to start as soon as they have a moment to take a breath. Thank you. And thank you to Luther Love. Luther, please give all my love and thanks to Calvin Cole when you see him. And best of luck with the Final Passion. So everybody stick around for Meredith and Peter's game. Throw some coins in the pot for the movie quiz and for Luther. And stay safe. Watch the movies. Come back next week for Game 5 of the Cinester 6, which will be romance. It's our romance show in honor of Valentine's Day coming up. So stay safe. Watch the movie. See you back here Wednesday.